Hey guys, Skittlerampage here. Welcome back to a new video. I do hope you're enjoying your day today. So we're back with trending Funko Pop news, and we have 8 Funko Pops today going up in value, and we have some pretty cool ones today. Now, I do want to say a huge thank you to everybody who did submit something over on my Instagram story. Sometimes I ask there just, asking you guys if you've seen any pops going up that I might have missed. So again, thank you to people who did submit some. We are using some of those. And of course, as always, if you guys have noticed anything going up in value, drop those comments down below and they might appear in the next part. Now guys, before we get started, I do want to ask the question of the day, which is, do you have a Funko Pop or character in your collection that's a little mad, per se? And I'm gonna go with Tiny Tina from Borderlands. If you know this character, she's wild. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. First up, we have Dexter Morgan here. So Dexter Morgan, this is the common, by the way, at $45. We already know that the exclusive is super expensive, pushing $80, $90. But the common itself has been selling for $45. We have a $50 sale, $60 sale, pretty close, as well as another one there. And then some current listings of what I could find were around $75 to $80. The common is super hard to find, just like the exclusive. Funny enough though, the exclusive is actually easier to find than this common right now, which is pretty crazy. And then another one we actually have is Deborah Morgan in the set. Estimated value around $31, though she's been selling around the $25 to like $50 range is what sales I found, and then current listings did actually range from $30 to $45. So she's definitely around the $30 to $40 range. So this feels like one of those lines where they didn't make a crazy amount of stock initially. Maybe they were kind of testing the waters with lower stock before they added more. This one does say over on Entertainment Earth that these are set to restock over in January. Now, as to if that's actually going to happen, we'll see, because some things say they're going to restock and then they never do, or it keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed. I have a feeling Dexter might go through. Given this line is still relatively new and Dexter's popularity is crazy, just look what happened to the Funko Pops in such a short amount of time. Pretty much the entire set has value to it, which is just nuts. Now, I think 2 other things contributed to this. One being that a lot of pops were actually sent in for signatures. I swear I remember a company doing signatures. I think they were doing send-ins. Most companies do, so I think that's a contributing factor. And then something else was that the Dexter Resurrection show earlier this year actually came out. So there was just a lot going on for Dexter, and Dexter is also just extremely popular among the horror fans. So this set was kind of bound to go up in value. Next up for Adventure Time, we do have BMO here. This Adventure Time NFT set is something you guys have been recommending multiple times, so I finally took a look here. So BMO, estimated value around $580. We did have a couple lower sales, but also some higher sales. So this ranged from $500 recently, and then some sales about like, a week and a half ago almost, ranged from $550 to $600. But current listings are actually ranging from $550 to $600 plus. This BMO is just super expensive given it was the grail at 999 pieces. I'm not sure if that was the true piece count though. If all of them were redeemed, usually they aren't, so it's probably lower than that. But yeah, guys, most of the NFT pops end up being valuable, especially since they're limited. It kind of makes sense. It goes hand in hand. So I'm not really surprised here, but it is crazy to see how much value this one gained. So let me know if you guys own this one. Next up for Pop Rocks, we have Young Blood here. So I don't really know too much about Youngblood personally, but estimated value around $55 there. You can see where it had a huge jump from that $20 range. Recent sales range from $32 up to $60. And the listings of what I could find kind of range between eBay and Mercari. We had one on eBay for $28 with $50 shipping from Canada, so definitely not only $28 there. And the Mercari listings kind of range from $50 all the way up to $85 at the highest. So this one's definitely jumped up a lot. Like I said, I don't really follow too much music or rock stars or anything like that personally. So anybody who's a fan of Youngblood, let us know down below as to why this one would jump up. But it was one that I noticed while I was looking. So, if you own it, it has a pretty decent value now. Next up for anime fans, this one actually came as a shock, just kind of randomly, and we have Naruto Susano'o here. So this one's estimated value is around $100 on Pop Price Guide, though it has not been updated in a minute, because as you can see on those shared stickers, they've been selling from $180 to $250, and then current listings of what I could find, very, very rare with that shared sticker. We had $300, $189, and $225 on Mercari. The market for this is super dry right now. Now that, combined with Itachi recently being announced for NYCC, but Itachi is coming out in a few days and people are gonna want this one alongside with Itachi and Sasuke Susanoo to kind of complete that collection. So that could be a reason as to why it's being bought up. On top of it already being super limited on marketplaces right now. But yeah, it just kind of caught me by surprise because I was kind of rethinking. I was like, do I want these Susanoos? Because Itachi's look so good, Sasuke's look so good. Madara is my least favorite of the bunch, but I would have to get him to match it because he looks cool too. And then I looked at that price, it was like $200. I waited too long for that. So it is what it is. If I want it, I'll pay the $200 price. If not, it is what it is. But let me know what you guys think about Madara's price here, and if you even knew it jumped up that much. That was crazy to see, but I mean, it's anime. I'm not surprised at the same time. Now, another mind-boggling anime selection we have today is from Demon Slayer, and we have Genya, which currently sits as the most expensive Demon Slayer pop in the collection. Estimated value around $350. That was actually at jumping up in October from sales. Though you can see we had $300 sale, $350, $350, and then a $500 sale. Now I would say, maybe that sale is probably someone shilling, which is still possible, but then you look at recent listings. $499, $500, $750, $700, and pretty much every other listing is in that similar $500 to almost $800 range. So everything left is over $500. He's gonna be a $500 pop, it's looking like, at minimum. And it's crazy. And I was just talking about this in my Discord, and I was thinking, I was like, imagine if this was like a Hashira, or a Nezuko, or Tanjiro pop, or if they made an updated Muzan and gave him a 1,200 piece treatment. This would have been almost a $1,000 pop. Like, insanity, especially with Demon Slayer's popularity right now, with the new Infinity Castle movie and it being the highest grossing anime movie ever to date, and it's still going. And if it releases in China, like people are saying that it might even hit $1 billion, which is just insane. Yeah, I gotta assume that's also kind of contributed to Demon Slayer hype with the pops right now. You know, Shinobu jumped up. So yeah, guys, Genya is just crazy to see. I mean, he's also limited to 1,200 pieces worldwide, so it was kind of bound to have some value, but 500 was like, whoa. Okay, moving on from anime, we have DC here, and this is from the recent Superman movie, and we have Hawkgirl, another limited piece here at 5,000 pieces. Estimated value says $60 on Pop Price Guide, though it looks like they need to update it because recent sales have been ranging from as low as $120 up to $150, and then 3 listings of what I could find on eBay were all around $124 to $150. So she's practically over double what Pop Price Guide is saying. And she actually sat at this range for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, when she initially released, she was under $100. You know, she was popular, but she also took a minute to sell out. So, you know, people started undercutting each other. I'm assuming it was what was happening. And then, you know, people just don't sell pops initially as much as they used to. So sometimes it starts lower and then eventually it, you know, jumps up like crazy, like the prices they used to do years ago. But Hawkgirl, I mean, 5,000 pieces, it was kind of expected. I don't even think the full 5,000 actually went up. I think it was less than that because they usually keep stock in reserve for damaged ones or giveaways and all that. So a little less than 5,000 went up. She sold out eventually. She, you know, trended a little lower, and then now she's borderline $120, $150 pop, which is kind of nuts. So let me know what you guys think about the value on Hawkgirl now. Okay, final pop today we have is Godzilla here. So Godzilla, this is from Summer Convention 2024, also known as SDCC. Estimated value around $55. This one was a little tricky on finding listings because there's not a lot of shared left, and there's a decent amount of con stickers left. But anyways, the sales have ranged from $45 up to almost $60, and then current listings, I found $125, $55, and $60. Really hard to find listings on this one unless I messed up my search somehow on eBay, but I've been doing this a while, so like I said, if you guys find some more, let me know in the comments below. But at minimum, it's definitely jumped up. I would say this is around a $50 pop for the shared sticker, and then the, you know, con sticker, definitely more value there. Now, as to a particular reason, I'm not really sure, other than it just getting harder to find with that shared sticker. Well, guys, those were 8 more Funko Pops going up in value. I do hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to let me know in the comments below, do you guys own any of the Pops that we did talk about today? I actually do not own any of these. If I owned any of them out of everything, it would probably be Madara, but I never picked them up. So Do not own that, but let me know if you guys own anything today. That's gonna wrap up things for today's video though. Make sure to hit the like button down below if you did enjoy, and subscribe and click that notification bell if you're new here. I do want to end off the video by saying a big shout out to all the awesome Patreon supporters of the channel. You guys are amazing for supporting myself and the channel. If you guys are interested and want to check out the Patreon, the link is down below. We have a Patreon-only Discord where we share a lot of information, news, restocks, updates, links, and more. And finally, make sure to follow me on all my social medias at Skittlerampage over on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and my Facebook page so you can stay up to date. All right, love you guys. See you guys in the next one. See you guys later. Bye.